And I'm asking him, how many pages does the Birmingham manuscript have? You don't know. Can I tell you the answer? 4 pages. Do you know the date for the Birmingham manuscript? The central date predates Muhammad's public ministry. Birmingham manuscript has surahs from the Quran, but doesn't agree entirely with today's Quran. Doesn't. What did Muhammad not know?
I mean, he didn't know how to read or write.
Read what?
I mean, you'd say text, obviously.
Read a written text. Muslims go around claiming it's oral tradition. But even for a loan, they were asked to write it down, which means it's a written tradition. Exactly. 4 pages. 4 pages of the entire Quran. 4 pages.
Okay.
Is that Islamic behavior?
I mean, that doesn't matter. Like,
No, it does matter. Listen to me carefully. Today, if someone burns the Quran anywhere, what happens to him?
He gets lost.
Nothing should happen to him.
Nothing should happen. But what do Muslims do?
Oh, so you're saying we burnt?
They shouldn't do anything. Unless they are
Please listen carefully.
Unless they are fanatics.
1 second.
Yeah.
I'm not asking what they should do.
Yeah.
I understand. They shouldn't do anything. It should be none of their business. I completely understand. But what do they do? Exactly. Wow. Excuse me, sir. Do you watch news?
Do not take fanatics.
Do you have original Quran?
Sorry?
Do you have original Quran?
No.
You don't have original Quran?
No.
All
Are
right.
you a fanatic?
I'm telling you.
Are you a Muslim, sir?
Do not. It doesn't matter what I do.
No,
My question here,
please.
Ask them if they change the Quran.
Do you know?
Ask them if they change the Arabic verse because he say
ignore him.
ask them if they
He has
change
failed
the
his
verse.
exam. Don't
No,
listen
ask
to
him.
him. Now,
Ask
do you,
them if
sir?
they change the verse because they don't change it.
Do you know if the Sana manuscript agrees with today's text?
Sorry?
Do you know if the Quranic text found in Sana manuscript agrees with any version of Quran today?
I mean, I'm not sure. I did not explore that.
Does not. Do you know if Sana manuscript is complete? Isn't.
He doesn't know
Okay.
what it is.
None. Please listen.
Okay.
He
None.
doesn't know what it is.
Let's
Please
see.
stay
Let's
quiet. You don't know either. You do. I'm sure if I ask you a question, you'll run away. Please stay quiet.
I'm not running
Listen
away.
to me.
Okay.
Listen to me, please. Sana's. I'll give you a few names of early manuscripts. Birmingham manuscript. You know this. Parisian Metropolitanus. Yeah. The version that is held by Francois de Roche. Sana manuscript. Topkapi manuscript. A number of Quranic manuscripts, early manuscripts. Do you know if any of them is complete? None is complete. None. One second. Excuse
By the
me,
way-
just 1 second.
Okay.
Have you ever studied anything?
I've studied, yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the names of the manuscripts?
I did what you say.
Give me name of one manuscript.
I don't know.
No, give me name of one manuscript.
What do you want to say?
Listen,
Give me
listen, don't panic, listen. Give me name of one manuscript. I mentioned 4, give me one name.
Ask him.
No, you tell me. You obviously went to level 2 question without even listening to level.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Apologize.
Okay.
You should apologize 5 times already.
5 times I will apologize.
Thank you very much. Now time to listen.
Fine.
Now time to listen. Don't come with disturbance.
Okay.
None of the early Quranic manuscripts is complete. None of them is.
Okay.
Number 1.
Okay.
Do you know how many decades it takes before you arrive at the first complete Quranic manuscript? Several decades. Almost a century and more for the first complete manuscript. Which version of Islam do you follow?
By
One
the
second,
way,
one second.
I'm Sunni Islam.
You're Sunni Islam.
Yes.
Do you know of this gentleman called Uthman?
Yes.
Your imaginary Uthman, the third caliph. Imaginary Uthman. Do you know Uthman is supposed to have standardized the Quranic text?
Okay.
He is supposed to have burnt all previous non-standard versions and supposed to have provided a standard version of the Quran. Do you know if anywhere Uthmanic Mushaffs exist?
Not sure.
No, it doesn't. Nowhere in the
Okay, brother,
world.
let me just say something.
No, but let me finish this and then I'll allow you to say. In other words, the entire claim that the Quran has been preserved is a cock and bull story. Do you know where Sana manuscript was acquired from?
No.
It was acquired from a loft in a mosque where the mosque authorities found it and they didn't even know what it was. Could you imagine this? Muslims who have apparently memorized the Quran, come across a manuscript of the Quran, which is one of the earliest manuscripts. They try to read, they don't even know it is Quran.
Okay.
They have to call a Western scholar to go fetch the discarded manuscript from a loft.
Where did you get this
Listen,
picture?
excuse me, sir. What did I say to you?
Sorry.
How old are you? Sir?
Okay.
How old are you?
It
Sir?
doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. Because you might have very little time left. I want you to learn at least now. No, this is
Okay, I'm
serious
learning.
stuff.
I'm trying to learn.
This is
yeah.
serious stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
It's clearly spent too long
Yeah.
not even knowing the basics, but learning to disturb. Never a good idea.
Very good.
Too much masjid has been going on. Too much masjid.
What's that?
You know where you go to do your bum exercise. Too much of it has been going on.
Okay, fine.
To an extent you haven't learned to listen.
So you're Hindu?
Irrelevant. Are you listening to me right now? Please don't panic. Please. No. Please. Excuse me, sir. No. I am talking about your text, about which you haven't got a clue. Instead of learning something new, at least now,
You're not saying correct.
Sana manuscript. Where was Sana manuscript from?
See, don't tell me it's Sana manuscript. Just go. Do you know the Quran? Have you read it?
You know Sana manuscript? You know
He
it.
doesn't know what's Sana
No, no.
He knows. He
I
mentioned-
don't want to claim something. I
But
know.
you mentioned the name Sana manuscript.
Yeah, like I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Whoa.
I've heard of it multiple times.
He
yes.
knows at least the name.
Yes.
Do you at least know the name Sana
I
manuscript?
don't know.
Yeah, if you don't know, learn. Look at him. No, listen, look at him.
But isn't hold on. Listen, brother.
Okay, if you're not a Muslim, that's fine. Just stay away
For the Birmingham manuscript, it doesn't contain every single page and it's in line with.
every single page of what?
Doesn't it include every single page
Of what?
Of what? Because look,
Of what? Please finish.
What
Of-
we've memorized.
of-
It's
Do you know how many pages are there in the Birmingham manuscript?
no, I'm not.
Do you know how many pages? Birmingham manuscript is the earliest Quranic fragment that has been found till date. Till date, in the entire human history, the earliest Quranic manuscript which has been found so far is what is called Birmingham manuscript. It's in Birmingham, University of Birmingham, maintained there. And the gentleman asks me, doesn't the Birmingham manuscript contain all the pages? And I'm asking him, how many pages does the Birmingham manuscript have? You don't know. Can I tell you the answer?
Tell me.
4 pages.
Okay.
Can your Quran be written in 4 pages? You can't clearly. It only has a couple of different chapters. Nothing more. Do you know the dating of the Birmingham manuscript? The Birmingham manuscript has been carbon dated. Carbon dated.
Can I ask a question?
No, please listen once. Don't please. I'm trying to have an intelligent conversation.
Those
Please.
four chapters, are they the same what's written in the Quran?
No, it isn't.
So it's
Please.
a different chapter. So that is not Quran.
Are you listening right now?
Yeah, I'm listening. And
is.
are you listening to me?
I've listened.
Okay, so
Please wait.
all
Please.
4 chapters are the same.
Calm.
Then it's not. We don't take it as Quran.
Calm. Yeah, you see, you can't answer. I'm not looking for your acknowledgement, sir. Please. I don't know what.
Oh,
was-
continue.
Birmingham manuscript has surahs from the Quran, but doesn't agree entirely with today's Quran. Doesn't.
So you
Maybe
mean-
now he is
so
listening.
you mean- so you
Okay.
mean it's a
Now.
different version of Quran.
Yeah, absolutely.
Based on what? I mean, Quran, you're saying it's a different version. It's
What's
not
happening
Quran.
with him? Is
Whether
he your
it should
elder?
be Quran or should
Is
it
he
be
from your
Quran?
same masjid?
That's what you're good
If any time he comes near you, stay away. Keep distance. Now to you, sir. Birmingham manuscript has been carbon dated.
What he's saying, that's
Carbon dated.
version of
Please listen. My dear young friends, please listen. Birmingham manuscript has been carbon dated. Do you know the date? The central, are you familiar with normal curve, mathematics? Normal curve, you're familiar with normal curve, yeah? In normal curve, what is the mean line? The center line, yeah? And the center gives the best estimate. You are aware of this, yeah? Yes. Statistically, the best estimate is given by the central line. Do you know what is the central line of the normal curve given for Birmingham manuscripts radiocarbon dating?
Okay, radiocarbon. Okay.
Wow, calm down.
Why you're not arguing with me?
Because I know you are a clueless man. I don't want you to subject through adult education right now, sir. Please
Brother,
listen.
you can answer his question. You can.
Are you familiar with adult education? Adults who haven't learnt while they were younger, they can go through schooling. That's what he needs to be subjected to. Especially not just
Brother,
not
no,
just
no, but he's
not
asking-
ju-
he's asking you
please,
some question.
No, please listen. not just for basic numeracy, literacy and so on, not for basic reading skills, numeracy and so on, them included, but also in his case for basic listening skills.
Why are you just
Growing up
accusing me of something
with
which
no,
you don't know anything about
no,
me?
look, I have everything about you so far. I know about you, sir.
Okay.
Enough,
It's okay.
enough
It's okay,
evidence so
guys.
far.
It's okay.
Now to you,
I
sir.
told him you're Hindu.
Do you know the date for the Birmingham manuscript?
He's giving me his back.
The central date predates Muhammad's public ministry. When did Muhammad begin his public ministry? When is he supposed to have begun his public ministry?
Before 600.
Before 600, says the clueless man. What about you?
Not sure.
AD 610 is a claimed beginning of the public ministry of Muhammad. Claimed.
Oh, as in when he started this process.
You know, the Hira,
Okay,
and the
yeah.
preaching in Mecca,
Yeah,
initial preaching in Mecca, 610 AD. But the Birmingham manuscripts mean dating predates 610 AD, predates.
So it means it's not real. It's not
Which
true.
means
مو مكتوب بالقرآن.
you have
عند
wow.
مو مكتوب بالقرآن.
It means
بيانسي.
ما بناخذ
wow,
يعني.
please listen. It means you have today in your Quran included material which is not even from the Quran, clearly not from Muhammad, but predating Muhammad. You see what I'm saying?
No, but
this is
brother-
the problem you have with the manuscripts. Now, let
Wait,
me
brother. Okay, look.
go on. Please ask me any
We
question
follow
based
an
on what
oral,
you've said.
we follow an oral tradition, right?
You follow an oral tradition.
Yeah, we memorize the Quran and it's passed down from generation to generation, right? So whatever book we have in front of us, whatever is written and is in line with what we've memorized, we take it.
Generation to generation.
That's it.
Please listen to him.
That doesn't-
He is making sense. Don't listen to him. He's distracting.
It doesn't matter what manuscript, whatever. You can just go on and go on and go on.
At least you're making
I-
some sense. Lovely. Now, you should have started right at the start. You shouldn't have let some of the others speak. Please, my dear young friends, please listen to this. The gentleman here is marvelous. At least he's trying to understand and trying to respond by giving additional comments which are new, which can be tried. So far, I spoke about manuscripts. Yeah? And I mentioned about the problems with the manuscripts. And that's where the gentleman here is suggesting that he goes with the oral tradition for the Quran, which is something you could try. Yeah, you could say, look, we go by the oral tradition, not by the manuscripts, and therefore, even if manuscripts aren't complete, manuscripts aren't consistent with each other, earliest, then maybe you can go with the oral tradition. Is what he's saying. Is what he's saying. Now let me. Don't listen to him, my dear friend. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Your quality is going to go down like this.
It's okay.
Don't
You can
listen.
continue. You can continue.
Now,
It's
let
okay,
me
bro.
ask you this. Do you have any evidence for the existence of an oral tradition in the 7th century in the Arabian Peninsula? Oral tradition. Any evidence for the existence? Because you said you memorize because you are from an oral tradition.
Senate. It's called
Yeah.
Senate. For example, someone who memorized the entire Quran, you have the Senate, I don't know what
Chain of narration, he's saying.
chain of narration.
Chain of narration. But listen
That
to
goes
my-
all the way back to the Prophet.
Goes all the way
ﷺ.
back to the Prophet.
Listen to me
For
carefully.
example, my grandmother, she memorized the Quran, alhamdulillah. She has a chain of narration that connects her all the way back to the Prophet.
Sure. But listen to my question again. I completely know and understand that Muslims claim that it was memorized right at the start in the 7th century, which is what the gentleman also claimed. Claims I know exists. I am asking for evidence. Have you got any evidence that in the 7th century the Arabian Peninsula had an oral memorization tradition? Oral tradition generally for everything, and in specific in relation to Islam, in relation to the Quran, an oral memorization tradition. Have you got any evidence?
Yes, I can tell you, I can't give you like a book that says it or something, but we know from Arabic traditions that even before Islam, oral traditions with poetry
Yes.
and other stuff like that could be used for Quran. It's actually way easier for them to memorize the Quran back then because they had oral traditions with poetry.
Listen to me, my dear friend. What's your name?
Abdul Mersi.
Abdul Mersi. Please listen carefully. I completely hear what you're saying. It's popularly claimed.
Yes.
A claim is not an evidence. Have you got evidence
Not yet, not yet.
Let me tell you something very
Maybe if I
interesting.
research, maybe.
Please, you need to research. Because I am a Christian. I'd like all of you to be Christians. And I'll tell you why at the end of the conversation. For now, I'll tell you this very importantly. You know, you said, no, calm down. Please keep distance. Thank you very much. No, this is Speaker's Corner. Please keep distance. Thank you very much. Now to you, sir. No, to you, sir. To you, sir. Can I tell you a few interesting points? You say there are other literature, Arabic literature, predating the Quran, which have been preserved orally and so on. Remarkably, there is no Arabic predating literature to the Quran.
The Christians, who they have?
Quran is one of the first. There is, the Arabic literature you're talking about, they're all from post-Islamic times, not pre-Islamic times. Post-Islamic times. With me so far? Number two, I'll now give you, you haven't given so far, which you said you'll try and find out. Find out, please look for evidence. Solid, unbiased evidence to help you youngsters understand that there was an oral tradition in the 7th century. Please look for it. I'll give you evidence for the fact that 7th century Arabia was not a place of oral tradition. 7th century Arabia was a place of written tradition. They wrote everything down. I'll give you a number of... Hey, wow, don't disturb, please. Thank you. I'll give you a number of points. I'll give you a number of points. I'll give you a number of evidential points. Yeah, number one. The Quran itself refers to kitabs. You're familiar with kitabs. What are kitabs?
It's like books, like
Written literature. Written. So the Quran refers to written literature. Yeah? It refers to written literature. In one particular surah, the Quran says, when it comes to loaning money, if you need to loan money, I can show you if you want right now. If you want to loan money, it says, find a scribe. Find a scribe who could write down details of the loan. Why? Because it belonged to a written environment, not oral environment. So, evidence number one, the Quran referring to kitab. Evidence number two, the Quran itself actually saying, find a scribe. I'll give you the reference in a brief moment. I'll give you third, very important. You say Muhammad can neither read nor write. Yeah? You say Muhammad is special in that he can neither read. Surah 2. Yeah, Surah 2 at the end. I'll come to that in a minute. Please, just 1 second. Point number 3, you say that that Muhammad, your messenger, can neither read nor write. Yeah, that's what you claim. Reading and writing, does that belong to an oral tradition or a writing tradition? What do you write? Reading, what do you read? Something which is orally said? What did Muhammad not know?
And the Arabs used to write it.
What did Muhammad not know?
He didn't know how to read or write.
Read what?
You'd say text, obviously.
Read a written text. Your entire bogus tradition claims that he did not know how to read. Reading is from a written source. Here say he could speak. He could clearly speak to each other. Yeah, he could clearly speak to each other. Muhammad, according to your story, clearly could speak in Arabic. Speaking wasn't his area of disability. His area of disability was that he could neither read nor write, both of which pertains to a written tradition, not an oral tradition. If everyone else also did not write or read, is Muhammad special when he can't read and write?
Yes.
Listen to my question carefully. If in the entire environment, according to you, if across the Arabian Peninsula it was only an oral tradition, no one wrote, no one read. Excuse me, sir, please.
Excuse me, sir.
Who is there?
They wrote.
You are disturbing too
They
much.
know how to read.
Are you with him, sir?
Yeah, they're
Please
all
stay
with me,
away from him.
They
He's a
know
little
how
bit
to.
confused.
They wrote.
If no one wrote, no one would have read. Would you agree? In an oral environment, everyone spoke to each other. No one wrote, no one read from writings. Yeah, with me so far? Are you with me so far?
Sorry, yeah, I'm with you.
And therefore Muhammad wouldn't be special, would he be? No, everyone is the same. No one could write, no one could read. Muhammad is not special, yeah?
No, they could write and read.
What's that?
They could write and read. His companions.
Exactly.
when we're saying
In other words, you now have to agree. You have two options. Option, please listen everyone, you three especially carefully.
Could read and write.
And you also.
Was illiterate.
If everyone else could read and write, then clearly it's not an oral tradition based environment.
written.
They were writing down.
And they did write.
With me?
And they did.
Okay,
In which case, we need to look for a written Quran, not oral tradition.
They were written.
But if everyone else
Just because it's written everywhere doesn't mean that, okay, it can be an oral tradition and also they write things down. That
It
doesn't.
was written and Uthman gathered all the written because after.
please listen to me carefully. A tradition, an environment is either written or oral. An environment. For example, in the UK, we don't have an oral tradition when it comes to formal documents. We don't. Yeah. For example, your driving license. In the times past, it'll be a document you can show, take and show, which I have also a copy. But it's also digitalized these days. Yeah. It's recorded. In the UK, if you have to have your birth certificate, it's written down, not literally, but metaphorically. Yeah. The UK is a written tradition, written environment, written tradition-based environment. An environment is either one or the other, not both. If an environment is entirely oral, then people would memorize. But if they were writing down, people wouldn't be memorizing, they would write it down. With me so far? I've given you 3 or 4 evidence points so far. Number 1, the Quran refers to kitabs. Number 2, the Quran in Surah 2 at the end refers to the, essentially says, if you want to loan money between each other, find a scribe. Even if you are traveling, find a scribe. Now let me tell you, let me ask you something important.
Ask him.
Between lending people money and the Quran, what is more important?
Sorry, again?
Let's say you have to lend me £1,000 versus a Quran. What is more important? Is £1,000 more important than the Quran, or is the Quran more important than
I would say the
£1,000?
Quran.
So you would say the Quran is more important. But what is the advice given in Surah 2 at the end? Even a loan you write it down. How much more the Quran? If the Quran is more valuable, even a loan you've been asked to write down, how much more the Quran? See what I'm saying? Number 2. Number 3, Muhammad himself would not be special in an oral environment. He would not be. He would be special only in a written environment. Even if the story is true, it will be a special instance of an unlettered, someone who couldn't write, neither read nor write, only in a written environment. Therefore, I'll return to my original question. One second. I'll return to my original question. So we're talking about a written environment. Now go back to Quran's preservation in a written environment, not an oral tradition-based environment. Because evidentially,
There's multiple points. Can we talk about one point at a time? We're saying all of them, then we have to reply then. Let's talk about one point at a time. That's fair.
the one point I'm saying right now is clearly based on multiple evidence I've given so far.
Let's describe
The-
let's talk
once-
about one evidence at a
I
time.
know. So, okay, I can, yeah, but ultimately, the point I'm trying to say is 7th century Hijazi, Arabia, was a written environment, environment where people wrote things down. I mentioned to you an evidence from the Quran. Would you like to see that?
Which is that they have to write down about the law.
All the people
Even
were
about the law.
writing.
The reason you are saying that because the loans are written down and because the Quran is oral tradition that somehow quantifies value. But the reason we memorize the Quran, we get good deeds when we memorize it.
Is what?
We get good deeds when there's so many other reasons for us to memorize the
No,
Quran.
listen to me
Not
carefully.
only because of
No,
evidence.
listen to me carefully.
I know, but we also get good deeds. Memorizing it is important for the Quran. There's so many other things other than just preserving it that we memorize it. It's not
Listen
the
to me
only reason.
carefully, my dear friend. I'm not asking for your other points. I'm making a very basic point right now. The basic point I'm making right now is that whereas your friend said, well, earliest Qurans were preserved through memorization, I'm trying, and because it was an oral tradition, is his point, I am saying 7th century Hijazi wasn't an oral tradition based area. I'll give you a simple example. In a written tradition-based area, if you need to do your university assignment, would you be asked to, apart from the special case presentation, most research document, research, conclusions, would you be asked to write it down? Write it down. That's what. And so the point. Yeah, there is some. You see, I told you. You went to university. You went to university and insisted. Now, with me so far. If you are in a writing environment, if you receive a book, you will write it down. That's the obvious thing you would do. And that is why the Quran says, write it down. The loan, write it down. Kitab, one second, let me finish. One second. Let's start with you. Separately. And Surah 2, Ayah 283. Just quickly, and then I'll bring you in, please. I really want to speak to you. I'll bring you in. Okay. But let's go to Surah 2, Ayah 283. 282, 283. Please see here. 282 would set the context for you. 283, Surah 2, Al-Baqarah, Ayat 283. What does it say? Can one of you please read? Read verse 283. Yeah, one of
And
you,
if you are on a journey and cannot find a scribe, then a security deposit should be taken.
So this is talking about, you can go through the few. No, please, let him speak. Let him speak. So the point is very simply, who is the we? I'm speaking to him. Can you please give him? I want to speak to you, but let him finish.
Fine, so we talk all together.
But I'd like to wrap this up and then we'll start a fresh topic.
He can join. He knows.
It has been going on for a while. I'll start fresh conversation.
Same topic.
Fresh. So because he hasn't been here the last half an hour, so I'll start with him fresh. Now, with you, can you see contract, debt, specified term 282? Can you see?
Write it down. Write it down.
Let a scribe write between you injustice. You see?
Okay.
So even for a loan, you write it down. Much more for the Quran, because the Quran is meant to be more valuable. So very simply, my dear friends, it's not an oral tradition. Don't let any Muslim deceive you. 7th century Arabia is not an environment of oral tradition. Evidentially, I'll give you one last information. Today, there are thousands and thousands of rock inscriptions found across the Hijaz area, written over centuries in the Arabian Peninsula. Centuries. And therefore, the claim, if you listen, you would have understood multiple times so far. The claim is, today Muslims would tell you, your teachers, your imams would tell you, oh, that's all oral tradition. But evidence tells us no. The entire reason I'm dwelling on this topic is very important. Quran claims that the Quran is preserved, which we have seen is not the case based on manuscripts. And we have also seen it is not an oral tradition based environment. And so therefore we can now conclude that the Quran is not preserved. But the entire reason Quran talks about its own preservation. One second. The entire reason. One second. No, you not, because you weren't here earlier.
I know what
you weren't here earlier. Now you've come in only 2 minutes ago. I'll start fresh. So the entire claim is that the Quran isn't preserved, but the Bible is corrupt. The Quran is preserved, the Bible is corrupt. Now I have demonstrated to you. Please, when you go home, study the manuscripts, the earliest Quranic manuscripts. Try and compare and see if they agree with, first of all they are complete, or if they are agree with any of the manuscripts today, or any of the Quranic text today. Please find out for yourself. Okay. Finally, the entire reason the Quran claims this, that the Bible is corrupt, is because the Quran contradicts the Bible when it comes to the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus, when it comes to Abraham's covenant passing through Isaac, and when it comes to Jesus' deity. Or in all of these areas, the Quran contradicts. And therefore, its excuse is everywhere. You can see this right the way through the Quran. Every time the Jews and Christians said, hey look, our Bible says something else. All that whoever wrote the Quran told them, hey, look. All that the writer of the Quran told them was, you have changed your Bible. Now, do you have any evidence for the Bible having been corrupt?
Yes, we have.
I mean, Yes, there is, but
Sure. I'll start a fresh conversation with him on this, but do you have? Do you have any evidence for the? No. Sure. One last. Yes.
Can we go back to the
I need to go. If you don't have time,
Please, 2 minutes. I really want to speak to you. Give me 2 minutes, please.
Excuse me.
Give me 2 minutes.
We kind of strayed away when you started talking about the Bible. So like, I want to go back to the topic about the Arab people not focusing on oral traditions, right? So
Not being off or
not being of oral, okay? So you talked about the verse in the Qur'an
yeah.
that talks about loans. That doesn't quantify value. You're saying because the Quran is more valuable, it should be preserved in the same way. It doesn't quantify
That's
value.
not what I said. What I said was a little bit nuanced, a little bit more, a little bit lengthier. What I said was, if even for a loan, you are asked to write down, then that's an evidence for a written. Let me finish.
Yeah.
If even for a loan, you've been asked to, let's say you go to an office.
no, it's an evidence. I know what you're saying.
It's an evidence for a
where-
written community, an environment where people wrote things down. Is my point. And my point, in other words, that's point number one. Don't let anyone say that Hijazi 7th century was oral
That's
tradition
also one
based.
point right now before going to that.
No, this is the conclusion. This is the next level inference from that. Muslims go around claiming it's oral tradition. But even for a loan, they were asked to write it down, which means it's a written tradition based environment. And therefore, my second point is,
I want to stick to this one.
and therefore, you would expect that more so with the Quran.
I understand, but the Quran, there's so many different levels to it. First of all, for example, in times of war, stuff like that, manuscripts can't be preserved. You can't just go on Word or Google Docs and print it out.
Let me ask you another question.
People
You will see.
memorize it.
You will
Please,
see.
please. When people memorize it, they go and relate it to other people. They hear the beauty. For example, you want to go to someone that doesn't believe. Would you say, read this? Or would you have it memorized and say it, relay it to him? It's different. There's so many other things. We get good deeds from relaying and memorizing the Quran. There's so many rewards for being a hafiz. It's not just about evidence and value. There's so many different things that go with the oral tradition of the Quran.
Today, my dear friend, I'll ask you a simple question.
Of course.
Today, let's say some English literature, let's say Wordsworth or something, some poem by Wordsworth.
Yeah.
Did you study here or are you studying here?
No.
You're visiting.
Yeah, I'm here.
So in your school, let's say, do you do English literature?
We do English.
Yeah. So English literature, let's say you have to memorize something. Yeah. That the teacher wants you to memorize something, maybe a poem or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
The teacher wants you to memorize something.
Okay.
Describe the process you would go through to do that.
We would read it.
Yeah.
I understand.
In a written environment, even if you wanted to memorize, you will write it down first.
I
You
understand.
understand?
what you mean, I understand.
And therefore, that contradicts, is my point.
I understand.
You are talking about, for whatever reason, you trying to memorize. I completely say, even if it is written down, you may want to memorize,
the
but that's not
Arabs
my
doing
point.
right? The Arabs
That's
doing
not my
right?
point.
When
That's
the Prophet
wow,
used
wow.
to say
Please
to
calm,
them,
please
right?
calm. My point is, even in that environment, you would expect the Quran to have been written down first.
It was written down though.
And that
It
is
was
exactly,
written.
and that
We
is
would do
exactly,
both. It was
and that
written.
is exactly where I'm going to the manuscripts. So we have concluded right now that it was written down. Quran was written down. That's
Give
the
him a
conclusion.
time so he
And
can.
that is where we need to go by the
Give him a
manuscripts
time.
now.
Give him a time to
So
speak.
the early manuscripts contradict each other. That's important because Quran was written down. We
Was
agree.
written.
You see? So manuscripts. Check out the manuscripts when you go
why
home.
are you refusing to talk to me? I'm about to leave. You don't
No,
tell me to
no, don't threaten me. I need to finish. I need to finish this conversation.
We might as well.
finish with them.
When you go home, check out the Quranic manuscript. Earliest. Now, please come here, sir.